Welcome to episode 2 of How to Create Nothing Ordinary series. I'm Jenny Rausch, and this is Don't Think, Just Feel. The purpose of this episode is to just give you courage to make decisions. One of the things I hear most often from my clients is they're afraid of making a mistake. They're almost paralyzed with fear when it comes to making decisions, and that can really prolong the process and make it a very painful experience, and it doesn't have to be. There's 3 things that I'm really passionate about that my friend Debbie is really passionate about, and I'm going to share them with you today. And the first one is trust your instinct. How do I teach you to trust your instinct? And I think you naturally do it already. I see it every day. People walk through the door with an idea book, right? So they show me their Pinterest book or their house book, and they have all these images of things that they want their space to look like. And I flip through them and I'm like, okay, look, this is consistently the same thing over and over. And you don't even realize it. You've already instinctively made decisions about how you want your space to look. And you just have to trust that in yourself. And sometimes you need somebody like me to point it out, to help you. You get sidetracked from trusting your instincts by listening to other people, worrying about what your neighbor's doing, asking the mailman his opinion. I mean, silly things like that. You don't need 100 avenues of advice and 27 articles. You really just need to trust your instincts and the advice of the person that you hired to help you through the project. One way you can trust your instinct is to compile pictures. So throw things into idea books that you like, pin them on Pinterest, and then when you go back through them, you can see for yourself that you consistently pick very similar things. And that's just your inner, this is what I like working. And that's how you know that you can trust yourself and the decisions you're making. You don't have to know why you like something, just put it in the book. You can bring it to me and we can talk about it and figure out the whys, but just put it in if you like it. And it helps to label it too. I read a quote and it just really applies to what we do. And it talks about not thinking, just feeling. And if it feels like home, follow the path. And that's what this process is about. I was looking through somebody's idea book and they kept throwing in these pictures where all you could see out the window was an ocean. And I said, I see a thread here that I don't normally see, and it's water. I said, do you want your house to feel coastal or beachy? And she was like, I do. And it's funny because the pictures of the kitchens weren't necessarily coastal or beachy, but the view out the window was. And that's the thread that we followed, and that's the design trend that emerged from that. And it's pretty amazing what can come out of your books. She wasn't thinking, she was just like, I like that water out that window, I'm gonna throw that in. And I don't think we would have gotten there had she overthought those pictures. I love the quote, don't be a flat squirrel. The road of life is paved with flat squirrels that couldn't make a decision. And that is critical in this process. You know, I have a client recently, she was looking at cabinet doors and she knew she wanted a flat panel door. She knew she wanted the color china, and we were looking at 3 different doors, and there was really very incremental differences between the 3 doors, and all 3 doors would have been absolutely beautiful. But she was somewhat paralyzed by the decision, and I think it's because there was so little difference between the doors. And if you haven't spent that much time thinking about that detail to that point, maybe that detail is not that critical in the decision-making process. So it's important to know, I think, itemize for yourself, what are the big decisions and what are the little decisions. And then, you know, when you get down to 3 or 4, those 3 or 4 decisions are probably good ones. So just make it and move on. The point of this is that combining those 2 things, trusting your instinct and not being a flat squirrel, is like unleashing a superpower. So you've got this instinct about what it is you want to do, and now you are decisive. You're a decisive human being, and all of a sudden you can make decisions quickly and roll down this path very smoothly. And that doesn't mean you can do it alone. You have to figure it out, right? So you take somebody with you. So maybe you take me or a designer at Karr Bick with you, but you've figured out that they're the one that's gonna help you. You've decided you want a white kitchen and a black countertop or a dark countertop. You just don't know exactly what, but you've picked the person to go on this journey with you that's going to help you make those decisions. And they're going to put things in front of you, and all you have to do is say yes, yes, and yes, because you know all of those things will look right. It's just which one feels the best in that moment. And you can take that superpower with you in any aspect of life, and it's very freeing. Everyone has the superpower inside of them, and it's different degrees of the superpower, right? It might be all you and it might be you and a team of people, but it's still a superpower nonetheless. Sometimes when I watch my friends and family shop for accessories for their house, I watch them agonize over whatever it is and where it's gonna go and what size it is and goes into the cart and out of the cart. And I always wanna say, just put it in the cart and take it home if you like it. You'll find a spot for it. Your house will eat it up. And if it doesn't, you can return it. And that's an easy exercise to help you figure out your little superpower there. Don't think, just feel. If after watching this, you're still hesitant and you don't feel like you can make those decisions, or you don't quite have the superpower yet, you can reference the previous video and the worksheet that we've made to kind of help get you there. Houzz is a website, and it's one of the best out there for gathering your ideas when about to do a home remodeling project. We have 2 videos you can watch if you're unfamiliar with Houzz, and it step by step will show you how to put your idea books together. One is sort of the beginner version, and the second is for the more experts that kind of show you the behind the scenes and the extra things you can do in the Houzz space. The next 2 videos in our series, one on budget, one on timeline, are more for our think you don't have to feel types like my friend Brian here.